Learnex community, and welcome to this week's edition of Feedback Learnex. As we stated last week, this month kicks off with Let Us Take You to Tokyo Town. So today, let's take a look at Tokyo and cinema. More than a city, Tokyo is a megalopolis, and as such, it bears witness to a wide range of stories. Many of these stories will never be told, but thanks to the cinema, we can tour the city. Some of these movies are Japanese, and some are international. There is also animation, which is something that in Japan always works very well. In the end, what we are trying with these films that take place in Tokyo is that you can see something of the real Tokyo, or how the big city affects the lives of its inhabitants, being a silent protagonist. So let's take a look. Number 1, Godzilla. Godzilla is a classic in its own right, and the forerunner of monster movies or kaiju eiga. Honda Ishiro and Toho made a film that has remained in the collective imagination, causing many Japanese nightmares for many years. And in it is that the impressive monster that emerges from the deep sea is an icon. Its nuclear origins and background make this film much more than just a tale of monsters and destruction. Perhaps when you see it with modern eyes, you think that its special effects have aged badly. Indeed, they have aged fatally. But we are talking about a 1954 movie, and the impressive miniature work in Godzilla's attack on Tokyo is still impressive to this day. If you know Tokyo, surely you recognize the silhouette of the National Diet, the Japanese parliament, when Godzilla reduces it to rubble, although there are also some bridges on the Sumida River and many more locations around Tokyo. Number 2, Akira. In this film, more than Tokyo, we talk about Neo-Tokyo, the city built on the ruins of the ancient capital, devastated in the Third World War. Interestingly, the 2020 Olympics will take place in Neo-Tokyo, almost as it would have been in reality had it not been for the coronavirus pandemic. This anime film by Otomo Katsuhiro, based on his own manga, was a massive hit all over the world. Number 3, Lost in Translation. One of our favorite films and already a full-blown classic by Sofia Coppola, a beautiful but sad story between the jaded actor who plays Bill Murray and the young Scarlett Johansson, which is reinforced by the language barrier in Tokyo, by the alienation produced by its large skyscrapers with red lights on top, its multitude of neon lights, and its anonymous masses of people. Strangely, it is a film that does not show a friendly Tokyo, but not stark either. It seems to tell us nothing more than Tokyo does not care what people do in it, without more. The karaoke where Bill Murray destroys the More Than This by Roxy Music is a classic sought after by many tourists, as well as the New York bar at the Park Hyatt Tokyo Hotel, in the heart of Shinjuku. Number 4, Tokyo Godfathers. Another anime film where Tokyo is a silent witness to the action, in this case from director Kan Satoshi. The film tells a story about 3 beggars who find a newborn girl on Christmas Eve in Tokyo. With the little information they have, they will try to find the girl's parents, with the vastness of the Japanese capital as its background. In short, a beautiful story that shows that animation is something very serious when there is a good script behind it. In addition, although in certain places in Tokyo you can see beggars and homeless people, generally they do not usually show up much, as they do in other Western countries. Number 5. Cherry Blossoms, a German film directed by Doris Dorier that is a tribute to Tales from Tokyo by Master Ozu. The first part of the film takes place in Germany, but when the widowed protagonist tries to fulfill the wishes of his wife, in love with Japan and the Buto dance, in the movie you can see Yoyogi Park, Shinjuku, and finally Mount Fuji in full cherry blossom. Number 6. Cars 2, a race between cars from many countries through various cities around the world. Tokyo is the city chosen to start the competition, and in this film, you can admire many places that you would surely get to know in real life, even if they are an animated version and with cars instead of people. Tokyo Tower, Rainbow Bridge, capsule hotels, even the Kabukiza Theater. Perhaps less pretty than the first part, but entertaining and with a lot of action and spies. Number 7. Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Sean Boswell is a guy who doesn't quite fit into any group. In high school, he is a loner. His only connection to the world of indifference that surrounds him is through illegal races, which has not made him the favorite boy in the police force. When they threaten to imprison him, they send him out of the country to spend some time with his uncle, a military man stationed in Japan, who lives in a tiny flat in a cheap Tokyo neighborhood. In the country where most modified cars were born, simple races on the main street have been replaced by the latest automotive challenge. On his first foray into the wild world of drift racing, Sean naively agrees to drive a DK, the king of the draft, belonging to Yakuza, the Japanese mafia. To pay off his debt, he has no choice but to rub shoulders with the Tokyo underworld and risk his life. Well, we hope you enjoyed this selection of films with Tokyo as its co-star. Stay tuned next week Thursday night, 9:15 p.m. Let us take you to Tokyo Town.